This is what Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird said when they were asked about Caitlyn Clark getting chosen for the Olympic team.
Reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie, and it might take a little bit longer for some people.
Yeah, we indeed saw the reality when Diana was warming up the bench in Paris. She didn't get to play a single second in the final match. Heck, we even saw her scoring less than 5 points in some games in this Olympics. So, is that how grown women play according to Diana? I don't think so, and I hope not, which means it was just a statement filled with arrogance and jealousy towards the rookie.
You're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlyn Clark. Y'all petty girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters.
Ever since Caitlyn Clark started to gain popularity in the basketball world, some of these grown women have been throwing jealousy and hateful remarks towards her. And then they justify their statements with phrases like meeting with the reality and black people can't be racist. Yeah, someone really said that? See for yourself.
You asked me about Caitlyn. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlyn should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
When people called her out for being a bully and jealous of Caitlyn Clark, a simple apology would have been nice. But no, she had to go and say this.
I'm gonna say this, and then I wanna be done with this whole conversation. So for people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, first of all, black people can't be racist.
What?
First of all, black people can't be racist.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But that's the farthest thing from my mind.
Let me be clear. I have nothing against her. She was great in her time. But that's the thing, her time is gone now. She is 42 years old and she should have backed up to give younger talent the chance to gain more experience. Okay, the scene would have been different if she still had it in her to play a good game.
And you said that Caitlyn is going to go through a learning curve. Some people were critical of you for saying that, but I don't know that it necessarily meant that you're not welcoming to her, right? I mean, how do you... it seems like you were just saying the reality is she's going to have a learning curve.
It's the new fans. They're really sensitive these days. You can't say anything. It's kind of like when you go from kindergarten or first grade, there's a learning adjustment. When you go from high school to college, there's a learning adjustment. I don't think I said anything that wasn't factually correct. And like anything, greatness is going to translate. And she's proven that in every level. And I don't see it being any different in the WNBA.
I agree. The new fans are sensitive. She might be right, or she might be wrong, but what about the old fans? Were they sensitive? We can't know because there weren't many in the first place. And that's the whole point. There was no buzz for women's basketball before Caitlyn Clark. The Caitlyn effect is real.
You know she had the potential. Playing amongst other stars, with her marksmanship, she could have made big things happen. With her passing ability, she could have made things happen. Then she would have drawn excitement and eyeballs, and people the world over would have been watching her, which would have assisted in the elevation of the WNBA brand, which would have benefited everybody.
Here's the reality. Tommy's right. It's not just race, though. It's also sexuality. Caitlyn Clark is a white heterosexual woman in a black lesbian league, and they resent and are jealous of all of the attention and the shoe deal that she got.
You messed it up. You messed it up. Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese should have been on that team, especially Caitlyn Clark. She's box office.
we have seen a 250% increase in ticket sales. Jersey sales increased by over 1,000%, 800 million social media views just from April to July, and a 10 times increase in fans interacting with the website and app. To be very honest, the only marketing the 2024 Olympics women's team got was when people were talking about why Caitlyn was not there.
The fan fever was high and in full supply at Welsh Ryan Arena.
This is like the best thing ever.
There are some critics saying that these fans won't stay for long should take a look at this. Watching all these kids being so excited and having so much fun just puts a smile on your face.
There's a reason there's almost 10,000 people here.
Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark.
Like, brought a lot of awareness for like women's sports, especially women's basketball.
Almost every game of the Iowa women's basketball team was completely sold out. She is definitely changing the game, and this will elevate women's sports in general to the next level, inspiring all the young girls who have dreams. Coming back to Diana Taurasi's age factor, she wants to be great, and I agree that greatness knows no age limit. However, it is also a fact that youth brings the benefits of speed, strength, and a lower risk of injuries. And there comes a time when maintaining peak performance becomes challenging. Everyone eventually has to step away from the game, and she is at that point. But she is not backing up. Is that her love for the game? Or just greediness? It seems she had a goal in mind.
I never thought I would be on this team for so long. It's just such an honor to put that jersey on. 6 gold medals. More importantly, I think would say what USA basketball means, the consistency, the sacrifice that we all make to be on this team, all the coaches. It's truly an honor to be on this team. When I went to my first one in 2004, and I was lucky enough to be on that team, I was like, okay, that's cool. 1 is good. And then 08 came, and I was like, 2, I'm happy. And 3, it's an honor. 4, that's enough. 5 was cool, and 6, I mean, I don't know.
I heard you just have to beat Sue.
That's my only goal in life is to beat Sue, so that would make it 6. She has me on wnba championships, so we're even.
So she achieved her goal, but she only got the 6th gold because of her teammates, and it was a very close call. While it's great that she had the opportunity to chase another gold medal, it came at the cost of Caitlyn Clark's spot.
Now, I didn't quite understand how you benched Diana Taurasi, how you can't find any time for one of the greatest players ever, who can shoot, by the way. You needed some long-range snipers, and Team USA had problems with it. They just lucky their defense is so damn elite.
Maybe the answer to why she was benched is hidden in her performance in the matches prior to the finals. In her games against Belgium and Germany, Diana Taurasi couldn't score a single point, absolutely 0. And in the game against Nigeria, just 3 points. Sure, she managed to dish out 4 assists, but let's be real, that's a small consolation. Ultimately, she was benched. Then again, a 0 against Australia. So 3 matches where she scored nothing at all. I am afraid she will be remembered for her 0-0 more than her 6th gold medal.
Attendance is down. Viewership is down. Guess what? Nobody gives a rat's ass. Not even a dead rat's ass about WNBA players playing in the Olympics. Well, Stephen A. Smith chimed in on it, and he chimed in, I think, very adroitly.
See, we want to act like marketing and business don't play a role in all of this. That's why you should have had Caitlyn Clark.
This was bound to happen. We already knew that they would get the gold, but nobody's going to care about that. And that's exactly what happened. Only 18 reporters showed up. Now, this scene would have been completely different if Caitlyn Clark had been there, because people like her and her game, and they want to see her. Many people haven't even watched the highlights of the final game, and I am not even disappointed now because this was expected to happen the moment they decided to snub Caitlyn Clark.
You know how many USA 22 jerseys would sell across this great nation of ours? Holy cow. It's amazing, really, how dumb the WNBA was. But when you think about it from a realistic standpoint, as my wife said, women just don't want women to succeed in sports. They just don't. They can't stand it.
Let's hear what the 5-time Olympic gold medalist Sue Bird has to say about the Caitlyn Clark snub.
With so much controversy. Caitlyn should be on this team. Caitlyn Clark shouldn't be on this team. You've been a part of it, and then people talked about it's the team, and you mentioned you don't have time to play together. Yeah. Did Team USA miss the boat in not putting Caitlyn Clark on this team?
You know, it's really tough. I think every Olympic cycle, there's a story of a snub. and it is because the talent is so great. I could sit here and make an argument for her being on the team, but that would require me to take somebody off. And when I look at this roster, I don't see myself doing that. If Caitlyn had made the team and somebody else had gotten snubbed,
Right.
and I could have made that argument, I would have looked at the roster and I wouldn't have been able to take anybody off. So that's the challenge of picking the U.S. women's basketball team. That's why we win gold, and that's why I'm hoping to see another one.
Well, that's fair. However, her answer only covers the talent and skills aspect of the players. She's saying that there's so much talent that someone is bound to be snubbed. But, I mean, if you selected Diana Taurasi just to warm the bench, why not select Caitlyn Clark to do that? I am sure she would have played even that part better than Diana. Bird is missing the marketing point of view on this.
Marketing matters in everything. Promotion matters in everything. And you're not going to get around that. That is what I said.
Fans are now not pulling any punches and making fun of this whole scenario, saying that Diana Taurasi should sit down. She is old enough to be Caitlyn's mother. Funnily enough, Diana and Sue once joked about Caitlyn Clark being their firstborn.
I'm sure Caitlyn Clark's about to make a lot of money.
She's earning her money right now.
No, Caitlyn's balling right now. I mean, I don't have a box score, but at one point, is this where we talk about her being our child?
Oh.
All right, I'm going to let you deal with it. You're the mom.
This is our firstborn, Caitlyn Clark. As you can see, she has the passing ability of Shoshana Bird. She has the pull-up. She has long distance range, like middle linebacker Taurasi. And she has the swaggy competitiveness of both of us. This is our love child born in the internet era.
They need to do that like face mesh thing. They put the faces over.
I mean, she must be really good. She's two of us.
Yeah.
Boy, who was the son?
Yes, both of them acknowledged her skills. Do you think that this Caitlyn Clark snub wouldn't have been upsetting if Diana actually played well in the Olympics? I don't think so, because the committee already made a huge mistake that proved that the chosen Team USA was actually not the best choice. Right before the Olympic Games, you don't try to make a statement by having Team USA go up against the WNBA All-Stars, thinking it's going to be a walk in the park. But that's exactly what happened, and it backfired big time. The plan was supposed to showcase how solid the selection process is, but instead, it exposed its flaws. Now, everyone involved in that decision, the committee, the organizers, should either be fired or step down, because it was proved that their selection was not the best one at all. Not only that, it must have crushed the hopes and dedication of the selected players because they were easily defeated by a team that wasn't even considered good enough to make the cut. It is one of the reasons why Team USA struggled at the Olympics.
There were many people who were cheering against Team USA today because they wanted Caitlyn Clark on that team and they wanted a reason to point to that Caitlyn Clark should have been on that team.
He's saying that now that the women's Team USA has won the gold medal, it proves that leaving out Caitlyn Clark was the right decision. We'll come back to this, but first, let's hear what else they have to say.
Now that the U.S. has gold, is the U.S. vindicated in keeping her off of that team?
Yeah. There's vindication that happens by winning, obviously. The ultimate goal in the Olympics is to win gold. They won gold. So I think they're okay with that.
We all knew from the very beginning that Team USA was going to win the gold. It was not even in the question. Nobody said that Team USA was going to lose if Caitlyn Clark was not there, because Team USA was going to win with or without Caitlyn. So saying that winning gold proves that they were right to snub Caitlyn doesn't even make any sense. I agree that getting the gold medal should be the priority, and I am very happy that Team USA bagged the gold. But it was clear that the Team USA was struggling, which indicates that the team was missing something. I mean, they won by a single point. It was very close. Some fans were calling Diana Taurasi dead weight for the team, and she was relying on her teammates to get the gold.
I'm just happy, you know. Sometimes you don't think the end's ever close, but when it is, it really makes you feel grateful, lucky. I said I was with my idols when I was young. I was with my counterparts in the middle.
While others argued that, even if not based on merit, Caitlyn Clark should have been included as an apprentice for the 2028 games. Several NBA legends have stated previously that if they want to fill the arenas, Caitlyn Clark should be on the team.
Caitlyn Clark is a special player. She reminds me of a Steph Curry. You know, a lot of times she takes those ill-advised shots that me and Chuck don't like, but they go in. Not only do they go in consistently. And the way she plays the game, she's the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around her better. You know, not only was she making a great shot, she was making great passes.
Shaq said that he was more interested in women's basketball this year than men's, and the reason for that is...
Well, it was definitely what happened last year between Caitlyn Clark and, Andrew Reese. It was, talked about and would have liked to seen that rematch in time, but...
When a legendary player like Shaq praises a player, the eyes undoubtedly turn towards them, putting Caitlyn into more spotlight. So when the fans got to see Diana's performance in the Olympics, they were bound to get mad because Caitlyn could have been in her place. Some argued that she should consider coaching instead of playing. Some even said that she should skip the entire WNBA season and just retire. And to be fair, these comments are not baseless. When you compare recent performances, Caitlyn Clark's stats show she's ready for the international stage. In her rookie season, Clark averaged 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, a clear sign of her impact. On the other hand, while Taurasi has had an incredible career, her current numbers just don't stack up the same way. Well, I just told you about those zeros. If you missed it, go back in the video to around 7 minutes and 30 seconds. When Dawn Staley, a member of the USWNT selection committee, was asked about Caitlyn Clark, she had something shocking to say.
Caitlyn is just a rookie in the WNBA. Wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now. If we had to do it all over again, the way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team because she is playing head and shoulders above a lot of people, shooting the ball extremely well. I mean, she is an elite passer. She's just got a great basketball IQ, and she's a little more seasoned in the pro game.
In a couple of months.
Yeah, in a couple of months than she was 2 months ago.
Just a few hours after Dawn Staley spoke these words, ESPN personality Frank Isola took to X to criticize Dawn Staley for defending Caitlyn Clark's Olympic snub. He tweeted,
"So leaving college basketball as the all-time leading scorer wasn't taken into consideration? Reminder. It's not a WNBA All-Star team or a Fading Legends team. It's a national team."
Stephen A. Smith also commented on Dawn Staley's statement.
Oh, Caitlyn Clark, Dawn Staley, the great Dawn Staley, who I revere, by the way. But she was playing the way then, the way she's playing now. Well, wait a minute. You know she had the potential. You know, playing amongst other stars, with her marksmanship, she could have made big things happen. With her passing ability, she could have made things happen. Then she would have drawn excitement and eyeballs, and people the world over would have been watching her, which would have assisted in the elevation of the WNBA brand, which would have benefited everybody.
What he just said makes sense because it is her job to keep an eye on the potential of the players and bring out their best. Most of the world saw Caitlyn's talent and called it out right away. Unfortunately, the people who were supposed to notice it first took a lot longer to catch on, and now Caitlyn's missed out on a once-in-every 4 years opportunity. Sure, she'll get other chances and could probably use the rest, but it's incredibly frustrating to her fans. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you guys in the next video.